Greetings, fellow Terrans. Professor McKee here with a tutorial for Terra Invicta. We finance professors have hobbies, and one of mine is playing Terra Invicta. I'm creating a collection of tips I've learned while playing this game in case you want to have a study break. And today's guide is a little trick you can use to remove an unwanted control point from a large nation, has to be a large nation, without generating any hate, without needing to run purges if, say, you're trying to crack into China. China's big. It's very hard to crack into China if they have one of the control points. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, maybe you can't run the mission because it's so large, or maybe you don't want to generate hate because it's the servants and you don't want it to trigger a retaliation from the aliens. Or maybe you have a non-aggression pact with that faction and you don't want to break it, but you also want full control of the country. Well, as long as you control the executive point, like I do here in Germany, you can use set national policy once you consolidate, and you can do cede territory. Or you can grant independence to new nations as well. So when you do this, your original country loses those regions and loses GDP. If you lose enough GDP, the number of control points will shrink. So say Germany is based over here in Berlin, that's their capital. So if I were to cede Hamburg and Munich to the European Union, which the European Union has claimed, so I can do that, it would lose 2 trillion plus 2.4 trillion, so it would lose about 4 trillion of its 5 trillion GDP. It's gonna shrink below 4, I think, to 3, potentially even, no, it would still be at over 600 billion, so I think it would still be at 3, but it would definitely lose the last control point. The control point that disappears is the one on the furthest left. So if this point is controlled by a faction you don't like and you want to get rid of, if you do the cede territory thing or you grant them independence, this point will disappear. It does not generate hate. And you have all the control points in this country, and you have all the control points in the new country that you ceded to or that you released as independent because you controlled the executive. So basically, if you shrink the country in size, the leftmost control point disappears, and whoever had control point just loses it, and they don't gain hate on the person who caused it, even though you really were doing it for a malicious, nefarious purpose. And then once this point's gone, you can just reunify, and you've gained full control without breaking that non-aggression pact, without dealing with purging. It will take some time because there's diplomatic cooldowns, but it'll work. Now, there is another way to reduce GDP. Nukes. You hit them with a nuke, you're going to kill a lot of people, you're going to cause a lot of economic damage. If you throw nukes around enough, it'll drop GDP, and it'll drop it enough to shrink. If you are a little squeamish about using nukes, you can bombard. Well, this ship, that one can't. But you can do a bombardment. Bombard the regions of your country. You'll kill a lot of people. You'll cause economic damage. And again, it'll shrink the size of your country if you do it enough. Just in case you're wondering, magnetic weapons do a lot more collateral damage than lasers. Hint, hint. Of course, you're going to rack up lots of atrocities when you do this, so your public opinion is going to tank horribly, but you shouldn't generate hate by doing that if you throw nukes, even if you're throwing nukes around. So, the next time you want to peacefully seize full control of a large nation, one potential way here is to allow a separatist group to declare independence through the set national policy, or to cede the territory to from Germany over to the European Union or whatever, or do some atrocity generating things to reduce GDP. I'm sure the faction you're targeting won't mind because they won't realize that you're doing this to harm them. If you found this video helpful for your study break, please comment, like, and or subscribe so others can find this video too. Happy not studying, and please don't nuke your own countries unless you really mean to.